A Planet Full of Plastic, written and illustrated by Neil Layton. Hello, you. Who? Me? That's right. Quick question. Do you ever think about what things are made of? Because some things are made of paper, like this book. Some things are made of wood, or metal, or glass. But some things, in fact, lots of things, are made of something called plastic. Isn't plastic fantastic? It comes in lots of different shapes, sizes and colours. Sometimes it's bendy, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's big, and sometimes it's really, really tiny. If you look around you, plastic is everywhere. But where does all this plastic come from? It doesn't grow on trees. That's right, it's made in factories. You see, 150 years ago, there wasn't any plastic, only materials like wood, metal, paper and stone. And then one day, super chemist Mr. Blakeland made an incredible discovery. Wow! Crazy, groovy, plastic is fantastic, they all said. And they started making lots of it and using it for just about everything they could. But there was a problem. If you look around, you won't just see plastic where it's meant to be. You will see it where it's not meant to be. Because one of the most amazing things about plastic is that it doesn't biodegrade like natural things. Oof, that's a big word. What does it mean? Let me explain. If a leaf drops to the ground, it will go yellow, then brown, and all skinny and thin until it's just mud and dust. It takes a few months. You can't see them, but bugs are eating the leaf, breaking it down. It's the same with an apple core or any natural thing. This is called biodegrading. Plastic is different. If it drops to the ground, it just stays there for years and years and years. It doesn't biodegrade. Really? Yes, really. This makes plastic super useful because it lasts a long time. But it also creates a problem. If plastic ends up where it's not meant to be, it will stay there for years and years until eventually the weather breaks it down into smaller and smaller pieces of plastic. A huge amount of this plastic eventually ends up in the ocean. Some of it floats to the top of the ocean and stays there. Some of it sinks to the bottom of the ocean and stays there. All of this is a really big problem for animals. Some of them get tied up in it. Some of them try to eat the plastic. Because of circular currents in the oceans, the bits of plastic have collected together, creating 5 enormous garbage patches full of plastic. The most famous is called the North Pacific Garbage Patch. It's currently 3 times the size of France. Most of the plastic in these patches has broken up into pieces that are so small you can hardly see them. A microplastic is any piece smaller than this. These are even more of a problem than big bits. Animals think they are food, so they eat them. The microplastics fill their tummies, leaving no room for proper food. And the plastics often carry and contain nasty toxins. So if a small fish eats them, it can be poisoned. And so might a bigger fish that eats the smaller fish for dinner, and then all the way up the food chain. Some scientists think there will soon be more plastic than fish in the sea. But I don't want animals to get hurt, and I don't want our planet to fill up with plastic. Well, we all need to try to reduce how much plastic we use every day. The less we use, the less we have to clear up. And people who make the stuff for us need to think carefully about what they do with plastic. Creating things that will be thrown away in minutes but stay in the environment forever isn't right. Lots of plastic things are meant to be reused over and over again. Let's make sure we do. And if we have finished using a plastic thing, perhaps we can pass it to someone else. When the plastic stuff has been reused lots of times, it should be recycled, so it can be turned into new plastic things, not just thrown away. But plastic can only be recycled a few times before it stops being useful, and not all plastic can be recycled. So environmentalists are teaching people about the problem because everyone needs to help fix it. Scientists are coming up with clever ideas too, experimenting with special books which might help plastics biodegrade, and finding new materials for us to use. And engineers are looking at ways we can clear up the mess. It'll take each and every person working together to stop the planet filling up with plastic. It's a big job, but I reckon we can do it. Thanks for listening.